No, they moved it. Yeah,
All right, so I'm going to bring this up. I'll maximize. So, and I'm going to bring up SQL Server. And let me close the database properties here. Why is my Object Explorer off screen? There it is. Okay. I'll give you a second. Do you guys need a second to get up, or you have it? Okay. I assume you have it, or you what?
Are you doing this on SQL Tools?
No, this is SQL Server Management Studio. Just the regular. In this class, the afternoon class, we will never use the data tools one. It's all just within the Management Studio. One thing I want to have you do right away, just for your assignment, is right-click on Metro Alt, because I noticed this when I was playing earlier. The assignment will be on Metro Alt, and go to Properties. Now this is probably because of the way we imported it, but if you look at Options, I changed it to Full, but you'll find that it is on Simple. We need it on Full, because if we don't have it on Full, backing up the log does nothing. Okay. In fact, it won't allow you to back up the log. So we need Full. And I wanted to do that now before you actually get into your assignment and find things not working and wonder why. So this is, to go through it again.
That would seem like you reasonably want to have everything full.
Well, the reasons that you might not want to.
Database.
So if you had a database that was mostly informational, where the data didn't change very often, so say you had a database of pharmaceutical drugs or something, which would change once in a while, but it's not a common thing. It's mostly to look things up. You might not want to have a log, because the log files can get gigantic. They record every single transaction.
Oh, it records selects even?
You know, that's a good question. I'm not sure if it records selects. I think it records every change to the database. So it might not matter. You might be right. It might not matter that much. The main reason that people don't do full logging, though, is because of the size of the log files. So again, I went here and I went to Options and I changed it to Full. If you don't, your assignment won't work.
We talked about the differences between that.
Right. So Full records all of your transactions. Again, I don't know that it records selects because they don't change anything. But it would do every insert update, every delete, all of those kinds of things. The bulk log is like the Full, except that it doesn't record bulk inserts, which we haven't done. But a bulk insert is like you're inserting a whole file worth of runs, kind of in the morning, like if you were to run one of those packages, which I will show you guys how to do next Thursday, how to run one of those packages, and then we'll go on to the other. And then the Simple just doesn't have a log. There is a log file, but it actually doesn't add anything to it. The huge disadvantage of the Simple is that if you crash, you're only as good as your last backup. Everything between it and there is gone. So, the other thing, just for logs, notice for Metro Alt. So this has got 133 as initial size, 33 megs. This is 133 megs with a log file as the initial size. It grows by 10%. This one grows by 1 megabyte. So when this one is full, it just adds another megabyte. When this is full, it adds 10%, which if you think of 10% of 133, then that's what, 13? No, it's 100. It's not very much, a few megs. But if your database is a terabyte in size, 1/10 of a terabyte is a lot of space. You could get, the log file is almost always bigger than the database file. And I think, as I've said before with the log file, it should never be on the same disk as the data file. We don't have multiple disks in here, so we can't really split things up. I suppose we could fake that. I never tried that.
Partitions.
You do a virtual hard drive.
That's what I was thinking. We could probably have done multiple virtual disks. I'll try that sometime, not today. Although our virtual machines are annoying as they are. I don't know if they get more complicated, if they get more annoying. All right. The other thing that I would do before we begin is I would go to C drive on the virtual machine, and I made a folder called backups. Tell you what, I'll just delete that and make a new one. So I just did a new folder, and I did it at C level, and then just going to say backups, just like I just deleted. And the reason I'm doing this is that I don't want to write a long, complicated path about where to back it up. You certainly can, but I just don't want to. Again, your backup files, just like your log file, should never be on the same hard drive. It just doesn't make sense. If the hard drive crashes and you lose your files, you don't want to lose your backups with it.
Isn't there a backup directory though?
There is, but I wouldn't use it.
Okay.
I mean, you could use it now if you want, but it's a long path. It's also got in terms of the real world, it doesn't protect you from a hard disk crash then, right? You want the backups to be on a different disk. Preferably even a different machine. Although a lot of people do the backups, so if you're a small organization, you might do your backups to like a portable hard drive or something.
Yeah, I was wondering if you could just find,
Or a disk, or a data drive.
Something like Spider Oak.
Yeah, you can. I think you can set it up, though I've tried and it's a little, to move them to like OneDrive, or if you have a business level OneDrive, I think you can do it.
What is the difference between OneDrive for this and this? Is it just more storage?
No, it's not even much more storage. I think it just has a few more features, and it costs you more.
Better security, or?
I don't know. I actually haven't heard of OneDrive having any security problems. Doesn't mean they never will, but I don't remember them ever having any security problems.
I hate it. I
What?
hate OneDrive. I hate it
You hate it?
because everything gets, like screenshots. It saves them to
Oh,
OneDrive, and
you can turn that off.
yeah, okay.
But I say, like my phone, I was really afraid my phone was dead this weekend because it was rebooting over and over and over again. It was just an endless cycle of reboots. And I couldn't get to the software reset. I took it to Verizon. I got to the software reset right away. I don't know if I was hitting the wrong keys or whatever. But all of my pictures are on OneDrive because everything on my phone goes to OneDrive. And this is an Android phone. I mean, one thing I like about OneDrive, although you can do the same with Google Drive, except Google Drive only gives you a gig or so, whereas OneDrive is a terabyte. So
If you have Office usage.
yeah, which I do. I also have Office on here and on my iPad, and I can share files, all the way across. It's not. There are things about the cloud that are nice.
Yes.
I can work on the same file with any device in any place. All right, so we have a backups folder. Does that make sense?
I already had one with a Metro Alt backup in it.
Yes, well, we might have done it for another class.
Yeah.
But we're going to do a little bit more complex stuff than what we did last time. So some of the things that we're going to do, I'll just sort of comment them in here. So we're going to do, the basic backup. Later, not today, but later I'll show you how to automate some of these things. So typically with a backup, you don't want to have to do it manually. so you can create an automatic backup. But today we're just going to do it manually. I'm also going to do a differential backup. Do you guys know what a differential backup would be?
Shows just the differences.
It only backs up the changes.
Yeah.
So if you do a full backup, it backs up everything. And you can do that at any time. But if you want to save a little disk space, sometimes you can do differential backups, and speed too, which will only show the differences since the first full backup. And so you have to do a full backup first, but then you can do differential backups. We will also back up the log. And then we'll do some restores. And restores are a little bit, if you have lots of differentials, you have to go through the pattern. You have to do the full backup, restore it first, and then you have to restore each differential in order. And then restore the log. The other thing that I will try to do is, this isn't part of the assignment, but I think I should show you, is restore to a point in time. So if you have a disaster, you do a horrible thing to your database, you can restore to the minute before it happened. And it's as if it didn't happen. The only bad thing about it is generally you have to take the database offline to do these restores, and that could be an issue, right? Okay, so those are the main things we're going to do. Questions? Okay, you guys okay? So I'm going to do these. Actually, let me do it graphically first, and then I'll do it with SQL. It's easier with SQL, actually, but I'll do it graphically first. I'll do Community Assist. I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to do Tasks, and notice that there's a backup and a restore. A lot of things under Tasks that you might not know were there if you didn't just explore menus. So I'm going to hit backup. So this is the community thing, the backup type. This is going to be a full backup. And we're going to back up the database. You can back up files and file groups, which if you have multiple files and file groups, you might need to do. Does that make sense? We should probably go with that too. The media is a disk, and it's by default it's going to that backup folder that you mentioned. Do I want to send it there? If I want to, I could remove this, and I could add, and then just browse. So I'm going to go up to C level, and I'm just going to go to backups. And then I need to give it a file name. So I'm going to do Community Assist. And I'm going to do .bak. Again, extensions don't really matter, but it looks for extensions in this dialog box. I'm trying to think of what TM means. Anyway, we'll do back. I'm going to do OK. So you could append this to the existing backup stage. You could overwrite the existing backup. This is under options. You could back up to a new media set and erase all the existing backups. And there's you can do a checksum before writing to media, verify the backup when let's do that one. Let's verify it. Continue on error. There's other things you can do, like you can set an expiration date. So if you want your you can set it for a number of days, like I could set it for 2 days, right? There's no good after 2 days. Or you could do it for a date. And you could encrypt it. It's not allowing us. Encryption is available only when backup to a new media is selected.
By the way, TM is Tex-Mex.
Oh, okay. Text Math?
Tex-Mex.
Huh.
What it mean?
Yeah, it's a editor program,
Huh, interesting.
one of the complicated ones.
All right. So once I've set all this up, I can do OK. And notice how fast that was. They aren't always that fast. And if I go to backups, you'll see that there's a community assist back.
So it expires today.
It expires in 2 days, yeah.
So it just locks itself, or
I think, I'm not sure what it does after it expires. If it deletes itself or just gives you a warning when you try that. That's actually maybe it'll be 2 days before we come back. Or it'll be the second day. I don't know if it counts today. It probably does. So I think it'll be expired Thursday. All right. So that's fairly easy doing it that way. I don't think I need to just delete it, but I'm going to. Oh, I shouldn't have deleted it. I wanted to find out about the dates. But I'm going to do it again with SQL. I'm just going to back up database, community assist.
Is that a basic backup?
Yeah, it's just a basic backup. I deleted the other one, which I probably shouldn't have done. To disk equals C : / backups. Community, I'm going to break that line just so it's all on here. Community assist back, which is all you really need to do a full backup. But let's see if I can do with what was that property called? Expiration date. I'm just going to look. I'm not going to run this. I'm just going to look.
Yeah, this is looking awful familiar.
I'm wondering what the SQL is for backup will expire, which is not part of the assignment, but
With expire date,
with expire date.
Equals, this one gets month / day / year.
All right.
End quote.
2 days or 2 words for expire date or one?
Expire date 1.
So this is 6. Let's have it expire tomorrow.
It's 7.
That's true. Now it doesn't like the comma, I guess. There we go. I just wanted to do what was in the dialog box. Again, just for plain backup without an expiration date, you could just do that. Typically with these, there are lots of with commands that you can add to do things like, I think you could do it with compression, and etc. We'll just go with this. And it gives you a little bit of information. Looks like it did community assist log too.
It was set up for full.
Yeah, but I'm just, because you can back up the log separately.
Oh, there's also retained days,
Oh,
does the number of days.
oh, okay.
I wonder if I need to save you.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So let's do a change in community assist, and then we will do a differential backup. So this original, the one we're going to do, this change won't be in the original backup. So I'm going to do like create. I'm in Metro Alt, which doesn't actually matter until I do this, but so use community assist. Backup isn't really database specific, so it doesn't matter what context you're in. Yeah.
Yeah, the first one that we just, is that the basic backup?
This is basic backup, but I did add with expire date just to show. But we do want to use community assist for this part. It's not for the backup. Whenever you say backup, it knows that it goes to master.
So put in the expire date.
What? Why?
Yeah.
Oh, just to see, because we did it in the dialog box. I figured we should do it here.
So that means that on 7/12, which is
That this will be expired, and I'm not entirely sure what that means in terms of using it. So I thought whether it goes away or whether it just gives you a warning. So Thursday we can test it and see. So in this case, I'm using community assist. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add something that is after that backup, right? So I'm going to just create table, for lack of a better word, after backup. And I'm just going to, it's not going to be a very exciting table. I'm going to do after backup key int identity 1 I'll make it a primary key, not that it matters because I'm not going to do anything with this table. After backup time, I'm just going to call it that. I'm going to do date time. And that'll be my table. So I'm going to create that stupid little table. I'll insert one thing into it. Insert into after backup. And I'm only going to insert the after backup time. Values get date. And I'm just going to run that like 3 times. So if I do a quick select, I have 3 records in it. About 2 seconds, okay. So this is all new stuff for community assist since the last backup. So we could back up a whole backup again, or you could do backup database, community assist, to disk, and equals C backslash backups. And it has the same name, Community Assist. So I'm going to break this again. Dot back for differential. Doesn't, is it not with differential or is it for? Let's try with. Yeah.
So you basically insert a table every time you make an update? Is that what you're supposed to do?
No, I just want to, I just wanted something, this is one backup, right? So we made some changes. And then we're doing another backup, but this time it's only going to back up differentially, so it's only going to back up the changes. Does that make sense? It's not going to, it's just going to add itself to the other file. Now, if we only restored from the first backup, there would be no table in it. This table wouldn't be there. So it's just sort of showing that. Now I'm going to do one other little thing. So we had 3 records in it. Let's just add, I'm going to add like 3 more or 4 more. And then instead of a differential, I'm just going to back up the log. So we have one backup that doesn't have a table in it. We have one backup that's a differential that has the new table with a couple of data. And then in the log, when I back it up, it's going to have the 4 rows I just added. So I'm going to back up log.
You just run the backup
I just ran it.
without the differential.
I did it with differential, like that. So I'm going to back up the log, Community Assist, I'm just trying to remember, backup log is something I do a little less often, to disk, equals, and it should be exactly the same, except I'm going to change the extension to log. Oops.
Is the extension case sensitive?
No, it's not case sensitive, and in fact, the extensions themselves are optional.
So
Yeah.
just scroll up just a little bit, or to line 22.
This was just to see what was in there, right? So these 3, I think, are in there before at the last backup. These are only on the log in terms of restoring. So if I were to restore everything except the log, these would be gone. So does that kind of make sense? I just want to show the pattern. And again, you can, once you've done the full, you can just automate differential backup for every 2 hours or however often you want to back things up.
Do you like a stored procedure for that or trigger? Or?
We will get there. There's actually under, it's actually under SQL Server Management and SQL Server Agent, which is, notice it's disabled right now, so we'd have to turn it on. But what it does is it's basically monitors things you set up in the management that have times. Say I want to run this at 2 p.m. every day, or I want to run this period at these periods. It lets you schedule all these things. And then this is what actually has to run in the background to check the schedules to when to run things.
So just
How-
task automation?
How would running a backup affect response time? for people using
It shouldn't really bother it much.
Okay.
Microsoft spent a lot of time making it so you don't have to go offline or interrupt things to do backups. Restores are a little different. Restores tend to take you offline. All right, so we have all of these things. I'm debating if I were to only restore the backup. We would lose the table and all of that. But then actually once I restore and stop, the others are gone. So I'll do it the right way first and then we can maybe play with it. Restores are a little dangerous. You can accidentally put a database into a place where you can't use it anymore. So I can usually get it out of there, but not always. So I'm going to do restore database, community assist with an underscore. And I think it's to disk or is it from disk? From disk. I'm just looking. That's backup. All right. From disk. Equals. So it's the same thing, right? Except I believe we have to do, and is it a comma, file equal 1? Let me look at the sample again. Yeah, oh, so I have to say with no recovery. There may not be a law of thing before the if. What does that not like? That looks fine to me.
Oh, no recovery is one of them?
Yeah. Oh, that's why. Thank you. So what no recovery means, and this is only, you only have to do this when there are multiple files involved, and you wondered, like when you did the query, where did file 1 come from? First file. So the file 1 is the full backup. File 2 will be our differential. If you had another differential, it would be file 3, etc. Weirdly, it doesn't use zero-based relays. It uses 1. Yeah.
When I did backup log, maybe it says I can get a file for.
I'm not sure if it.
Because it's supposed to-
Let me see what I got. Yeah, I did
I
get
got a
it.
text document.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
That's what it is.
It must be, but when I open,
It's not a text file.
yeah, it's not a text file. I think that's just Windows being unsure what it is. I'm pretty sure that's the log.
That's what I got.
Okay. So, and then I'm going to do exactly the same thing. With file 2, which is our differential backup. And you can run these one at a time, but I'm going to set them up first. And then I'm going to restore the log, community assist. And I believe it's from disk equals, and I'll paste that in there again. I don't know exactly how I did that. Delete. This time, instead of the file one, because we do want to do the log this time, and I do need to change a couple of things I can see. We want it with recovery at the very end. And these should be back, not log. It's a good thing I didn't run them. So just lower this until you can see. These are our restore statements. This is for the full backup. This is for the partial. This is for the log. No recovery means leave it suspended until you get to the log and then do recovery. If I did this with recovery, which we might try afterwards, it would only, we would lose our table. We'd lose everything after that. And these wouldn't run anymore. So I'm going to do the first. I'm just going to do a quick restore. Yeah, it doesn't like it. Oh, it's still in use. I wonder if I can just do,
You switched on Control Alt.
just use master, I think. Okay.
Tail of the log.
Yeah. All right, so let's do backup log community assist from, I did back it up, but it wants it backed up again, I think.
Can we not just run the backup log statement again?
Well, but it wants it with no recovery.
Oh, I see.
Where did I put that? I think I put that in the wrong place. So I'm going to back that up. Incorrect syntax with. What was the correct syntax?
Is it to disk or from disk?
Oh. But that actually is,
So
so,
it's to disk instead of from disk.
yeah, you're right. From is from the other. Community assist does not exist. Did I spell? Oh,
That's
it's right. Community.
Oh, okay.
Commodity assist.
Yay. Okay, so now let's try to restore the database. Okay, so that's okay.
Backing up your database and it disappears.
And if I do, hopefully I won't kill everything. Notice community assessed right now is offline. It has a little green arrow and it says it's restoring. You won't be able to read the database or anything because it's offline. So I'm going to restore the file too. And in the last one, when I restore the log, should bring it back. So let's refresh. And it's okay now. If you don't do it with recovery, though, it'll be in a suspended state forever.
They'll terminating abnormal, and then you have to do the restore log.
Let's see.
It's just in the process of restoring. I don't know if that takes a while. Alright, so with the company, get rid of the well, you probably did that. Actually, get rid of the file. Let me see if that works. Let me see the problem. The log is back in terminate,
I like that it's got ones in it. Yeah. This one is,
Not sure why. All the other resources.
the gems did it. Yeah,
That's, yeah, it's better than the potatoes.
that's
And they
great.
got rid of famous potatoes off the license plates. It's just say famous potatoes.
It is the gems.
Yes. The Pick Beaver Stage or.
Yeah. We're not.
I grew up in Horseshoe Bend. It's north of Boise and I read them all. So, you know, a lot of ghost towns and forests and little rocks and deserts. And you ever been to Idaho City?
I think I
Well, 27 people live there now.
have.
It's a ghost town.
Yeah.
It's where the big gold rush happened in Idaho. They had over 1 million people there during the gold rush. That's one of the most things Idaho has now.
Yeah, it's really.
I went to high school in Meridian, but I was living
Yeah.
in Boise.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's wrong with
Oh, you're right.
it. It looks okay. So one of the things I wanted to show you too, so the way I often restore if they fail is I go to tasks, restore, database, and notice it has all of our files. It has the back end, the tail of the log, the transactions, the full and the differential. And sometimes you can just do OK for restore here, and it will restore everything and it'll be fine. Worst case scenario, you go to options and you do overwrite existing database. It should be fine because you're overwriting it with your backups. And then you can, it'll usually repair it with nothing else will.
So no recovery and recovery.
So because we have differential like this, so this is basically we say with no recovery, so it keeps it suspended. And if you're going to apply multiples of these, then you have to keep it suspended until the end. Right, so right here where we at the very end we say with recovery. And then it restores the database.
Now, so when it's doing the backups, it's saving them to the same file name?
It does save them to the same file name, although weirdly it has multiple files internally, I think.
How does that work?
I don't know.
So it's basically, it's partitioned the file into
It
multiple
must, yeah,
segments.
the file has to be segmented, yeah. And the numbers are just based on first, which one was first.
Okay, so okay. Trying to figure out how it had multiple files at the same time.
Yeah, it looks, it's in the, if you look in the folder, you don't see the differentiation, but the differentials are appended. So there has to be like a little header information or something in the calculation. Let's just restore the first, the file one, and let's do it with recovery. All right, so I guess before we do that, we could go up and we could see that this table is still there, and if I do a select, oh, that's because I'm in master. So let's use Community Assist. And then if I do here, all of that stuff has been restored, including the ones that were just on the log. But let's just do a restore of just the base backup. So I don't know what I did. Control. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. We just want, we don't want to back up. We want to do this one, but with recovery. So I'm going to use master again because you can't be connected. And I'm going to restore just the first file. Oh, it doesn't allow me to do it.
Yeah, it's the same problem I ran into.
It just won't let me do it because it knows that it would be a dumb idea. I wanted to show that it would, I wonder what happens if we just leave that out. No. It won't allow you to restore if you haven't backed up the log. If I back up the log, it will return all the data that I had anyway. All right, so we'll never mind. So I'm going to do one other thing. I think I'll make it a new database. And then we'll restore to a point in time. And then I'll let you guys do. So I'm going to create database. We have a test database already. Let's see one. Okay. Test. Go. And then in test, I'm going to create or use test. Create table. I think I need to go after that too. And I think it's use database test. No, it's just use test, right?
Yeah.
And it's just upset because I haven't made it yet. Create table people. And I'm just going to give it do like a person key, and I'm not going to even bother making it a key. Person last name. That's person first name. What I want to do is I want to, as safely as possible, and I have to give these types. So that's my table. It's not much of a table. Well, actually, I can't do that until I run the rest of it. So I'm going to go and I'm going to insert into people. And I'm just going to select you. Select these same fields, except I think I have to do a person email. From person. Oh, actually from Community Assist. .dbo .person. All right. So actually, I think that's all I need for right now. Let's run that from the beginning. Create database. Go. Create table. Add the people. Okay. So if I go over here, we've got a test database. It has a table, it has people in it. If I do a quick select start from people, you should have all the same people Community Assist has. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we'll do a backup. And we'll back up the log too. And then what we'll do is we will restore to a point in time. So we need to, in a minute, we're going to do something horrible. But first we'll back up and restore. And then I'm going to change everybody's last name to Smith. There's a reason I made it a new database and a new table.
When you insert it,
Yeah.
or, oh no, you select, but you change the name of person you found.
Right, because this has to match what's in the actual person table. This doesn't. Did you guys get that okay, that code for doing that? I did it kind of fast. Again, the point, and this isn't in the assignment, but the point of this is I'm going to try to do a horrible thing and then restore to a moment in time. So the first thing I have to do is back this database up, because you can't restore if you don't back up. I won't do differentials. I'll just do I'm just going to say backup database test. Actually, I need to check this real quickly too. I want to make sure it's full. I think that's the default. Yeah. To disk, we'll do the same. Equals C : backups dot back.
You need a backslash.
Oh, yes, I do. Backup slash test dot back. Okay, so it did that. So backup log, although we haven't done anything really. Test to disk equals, and I'll just do this as, I know why that thing said text file. I think it thinks that the logs are text files. Because like Windows logs and things like that. So I'm backing up the log. All right, so now I'm going to do my terrible thing. I'm going to update people, set last name, or actually it is person last name, isn't it? So let's set person last name equals Smith.
Isn't that in the Community Assist database right now?
No, see up here it says test.
Oh, okay, okay,
When I made the things, when I ran this, go use test.
okay.
So this is my horrible thing, and I'm looking at the time. It says 2:10 p.m. So when I select now from people, everybody is named Smith. And I didn't do a start tran, end tran, so everybody is in fact Smith.
You said everyone's last name is Smith?
Yes. Now let me look. So this is the syntax. I'm going to try it. I'm just going to copy it. I'm going to change the database names. What is it? The names of the innocent have been changed. So I'm going to change this to test. From I think I need it from disk, right? Equals C colon backups slash test log. And it's not file 5. What would this be? File 2?
You want log, not log.
Yes, I do want log. Stop at, and we want I guess July 11th, 2020. 2017 at so 12 a.m. I think I want to do
2:10.
yeah 2:10 p.m. with restore database test. So let's see if that works. I don't know about file 2.
Just stop on.
Oh, it's still in use. Use master. So it's not file 2. Well, actually, if I just restored the log, the backup, it would probably be fine, actually. Let's see. I wonder if I restore. I might have to look at this before. I've done it before, but it's been a long time. Or I have a faster way, maybe. So I want to restore the database. Need to choose the database, which is test. Device actually is what I want. Not. Come on. Okay, so we go to device. I'm going to go find the backup. Got that backup, but this backups. We'll do test back. We'll do OK and OK. Files, options. I'm looking for the place. where you can set the time on these. It might only be with the log. It's taking too long. It failed. Why did it fail? Oh, it's in use. Didn't I go back to master?
Yeah, it says here in master. It worked for me.
It did work?
Yeah, when I used the GUI tools, not when I used the SQL.
Let me refresh here. Nope, it's fine. And it's in master. Oh, come on. Yes, I know no backup status. That's because you're not letting me choose it. Oh, I don't want to close everything. Do I wait for the program to respond?
Yeah, mine froze up like that.
There we go. All right, so you said yours ran. Usually it only takes a second if it's going to work. If it isn't going to work, it takes a while. It's like a 30-second timeout to fail. It says the database is in use. It isn't in use. Maybe the database is already fully recovered. That's interesting. Let's see if that's true. No, they're all still Smith.
Yeah, mine totally worked. I tested it. There's a variety of last names too.
So what did you do that's any different?
I didn't, nothing that I'm aware of.
You ran this one, huh?
Yeah, that didn't work, but then I used the GUI tools and that worked fine.
So if I use, so it's not releasing it is part of it, I think. Last try. I'm just going to let you work. There's no restorative moment on the thing. There might be a different problem because it's just freezing up. It's probably not going to work because of the time it's taking. I wonder if I did test log. I know that there's the reason I was here was that I've seen before in the dialog box, but I'm trying to remember where it asks you for the time stuff. Whoa, I have a lot of those open. This is the one I just did with the logs. Let's try that. I didn't do anything under options. That's interesting. All right. Okay, so it says it restored it successfully. But I didn't actually get out. I didn't get a point of time, so I suspect it's all still Smith again. Nope, they're back. But it wasn't because of the moment in time, which is what I was trying to show you. This is the syntax, though, for getting back to a moment in time is stop at equals. And you have to give the time that you want to stop the restore at. I think part of our problem is that our log is so empty because we haven't done enough. So it doesn't see any difference between the log and
What did you actually change?
what?
What did you actually change?
So what I did in the GUI, yeah, the thing that I did in the GUI was that I added, when I did device, and don't freeze up again, I added both the log and the database file, not just the database file, the backup. That was not as successful as I hoped, that last part. There it is, frozen again. But for your thing, it's just, let's look at the actual assignment. So do a backup of the natural alt. Add a new record to employee. You can just make up whatever for the employee. Then do another record. Then back up the log. Restore the.
It's just to do
a partial.
partial
So
backup.
it's pretty
Does it
much
mean-
like what we just did. Do a full backup. Add a record. Do a partial backup.
Is that differential type? Is that
Yeah,
right?
that's differential. Partial and differential are the same. Add another record to employee, and then back up the log, and then restore the database. So it's basically just doing what we did in the first step, is going through those steps. You could do this all with the GUI, but I think it would be better with the SQL, and then you could just turn in the SQL. If you want to do it both ways, you're welcome to. The other thing I'll show you, if you really don't want to write the SQL, so I'm going to do tasks, backup, and so what database do I want to back up? Let's put back. Well, no, the partition example is hard. I might show that at some point too, but let's do a different database. I guess I could just do, so here's ITC 226. Actually, that has lots of files in it too. I was trying to avoid one with multiple files. Let's just back up. I guess Community Assist again. We'll do a full backup. We'll back it up, see it's right there. The thing is you can do script. So it scripts it to a new query window by default. And it actually gives you the whole script for doing that. I'm going to just break the lines. It gives you it gives you a bunch of options too. You could get rid of all of these.
Yeah, so it's just the top couple lines.
Yeah, the rest of these are just default options. But the point being that you can script it. If you want to use the GUI, you could, but just script it. All right, so I will post the script that I have here onto the blog, and then there is a video of this, so you can have the rest of the time, if you want it, to just do the Metro Alt backup and script. It won't take you too long, I don't think. So let me get out of here to stop the video.